Hello, how you doing? Welcome back to some more Football Manager 2023 and another part of the Journeyman with Leeds United. Today we are back with the action. We are taking on the transfer special for Season 9. We're at the first point at which we can sign players for Leeds United. We've already got one lined up, ready to come in next season. I'm looking to rebuild the side, really. A Jesse Marsh side that was aging a little bit like the Fulham side, but I think we'll get a little bit more time to implement our ideas here because there are some real quality players at the club that I'm really looking forward to using and developing next season. I think we're going to have a really cracking year next year. But first things first, we have got our season review to do. So without further ado, let's get into it. And here we are then. So the Leeds United end of season review 2029 to 30, of which we took on the sort of last quarter of the season, if you like. So new arrivals, signing of the season turned out to be, I think, Emilio Lara, but I'm not entirely sure. That apparently nobody was able to prove their worth. I suppose. Is this the signing on the season? I'm not really sure. I guess we didn't bring any of them in, but personally, I'd say Arda Tiata is going to be the best signing out of the lot. Aquino is there as well. Strakosha is there. Ramadani and Emilio Lara. Most of them we want to keep for next season. Strakosha will be the one that inevitably goes. Season results, we of course finished in 11th place in the league. It was a mid-table finish. They did look like qualifying for the Champions League much earlier in the season. They had won their first 5 matches, but it did definitely tail off towards the end of the season. Well, they actually won their first 6, if you look at that. Goodness me. But since we took over the Luton Town match, we either win or lose. We don't draw matches, apparently. But I'm looking forward next season to hopefully making them a little bit more consistent. In the Europa Conference League, of course, we got to the final and went down on Penno Jeffs to Brescia. That was a shame that we didn't win that tournament. It would have been amazing, but possibly a blessing in disguise. That we won't have European football next season. FA Cup, we had now to do with it, but they went out to Liverpool 2-0, and in the Carabao Cup, they got all the way to the quarterfinals before that same opponent, Liverpool, knocked them out in that competition. Okie dokie then. Moments to remember. Biggest win was 5-0 over Preston. Match to remember was our last game of the season where we took it to Newcastle United, beat them 4-1 at St James's Park. And the goal of the season was Ramadani in a 5-0 win over Lugano. So our very first goal for the club, which is awesome. Really, really nice to see. Into the finances then, we got £52 million in sponsorship, a little bit less broadcast revenue, good corporate and hospitality, good competition prize money and decent matchday commercial retail. And you can see Vitinha is selling the most shirts, 180,000 shirts were sold last season. Aronson, Knauf, Pulisic and Adams also bringing in some shirt sales. And this was the best lineup of the season. Apparently, Shisoka in goal with Santos, Tiata, Strojic. Don't know who that is. Pascal Strojic. Did he leave in January? Oh, he did. 46.5 minutes. So that's who they were playing at centre-back then. Right. Makes a lot more sense now. Strojic is a very good defender, apparently. And Sergio Gomez, left back. Roca and Ramadani in defensive midfield with Knauf, Gibbs White and Harrison starting behind Vitinha up top. Okay, then. These are the accolades. Player of the season, Thiago Santos. Young player of the season, Leonardo Aquino. Ramadani is goal of the season. Top goal scorer was Vitinha. Mark Roca, most assists, most player of the matches, Thiago Santos, highest average rating, Thiago Santos, and most passes completed per 90 minutes was Cristiano. Record breakers, overall goals in a season, Vitinha, and worst discipline was Tiata with 16 yellow cards and a red card. History in the make, and then there you go, very good. And if we have a quick look at our dynamic manager timeline, you can see our sacking, collect your things, welcome aboard. So there you go, all sorted out on there. All right then, you can see the best 11 ever for Leeds United is there. Meslier in goal, Santos, Strojic, Chris Smalling. When did Chris Smalling play for Leeds United? Goodness me, he joined them in fairly recently actually, and is in their best 11. Interesting. Tyler Adams in there with Roca, Sinistera. Okay. Christian Eriksen. That's a funny one. Patrick Bamford still in there. He's retired now. Goodness me, how old is he? 36? Christ. Yeah, he had a very good season a couple of seasons before this save took place. We do have our initial budgets as well. That message came through a couple of days ago. We've got £86 million and £3 million on the wage budget. That's a lot of money to spend. That's definitely going to burn a hole in my pocket. Going to try and get some nice new young players in, ready for the new season. So, yeah, I'll go ahead and do all of this, and I'll see you guys when we... Well, should we do the club vision? Let's have a little look at this. So they want us to work within the transfer budget, or wage budget, sorry, increase commercial revenue, spend the original transfer budget. So they'd like us to spend as much money as possible, reinvest in the squad. They want us to sign players under the age of 23, stuff about contracts there, develop the best youth system in the country, record a Premier League top half finish. So that should be achievable. Then the next season, they want us to challenge for the Carabao Cup. Then my contract expires at the end of that year, and they want us to work towards qualifying for the Europa League. And eventually, by the end of the 2035 season, they want us qualifying for that Champions League. So that, I think, is a really awesome journey. They want us to win a cup in 2034, qualify for the Champions League the year after that, and then all of a sudden you're starting to see how ambitious this club is, and I'm really, really happy about that. So I'm more than happy to accept that vision. Discuss plans for next season. We want to challenge finishing in the top half. That's fine. Most of the players have gone off to the World Cup now. Brilliant. Okay. Perfect. Right then. We will head off, and I'll see you guys for the first signing of the summer transfer window. Now, one thing I realised I didn't do was actually take you through the squad planner, which players, we've got at the club, and where we are particularly focusing on for next season. So, first things first, the goalkeeper. Realistically, we probably need to sign 2 goalkeepers. We might get away with just signing 1, because James Crouch has got a little bit of potential. Either of those 2 could be our third choice, but realistically, we need to have 2 top quality goalkeepers in the squad. At right back, we've obviously got Thiago Santos, but somebody as a backup for him would be fantastic. At centre back, we have got 4 decent centre backs. It would be nice to have an English option in there just to try and bolster squad numbers, because that is something that we really struggle with, is we haven't got much homegrown talent at the club. So it would be nice to get an English defender in there. At left back, we do have a few options. Tyler Adams obviously wants to leave, so we're expecting him to do just that. Andrew Lyons has seemed like a decent option. He is a 22-year-old English left back. Prefers to be a wing back, but can also play winger as well. Looks very decent. I think, at the age of 22, he's not going to improve much more, but certainly when he did play last season, he did an okay job. In defensive midfield, we've of course got Ramadani, we've got Cristiano. Archie Gray is somebody that has come through the Leeds youth system. He's been there many, many years. He can play in defensive midfield, a little bit more of a supporting role, a bit more proactive. He is a decent Premier League player, can be a good Premier League player in the future, has played plenty of games in the past, 63 up to now. And hopefully we can make him more experienced in that role. And of course, we've got our new signing, Manu Kone, who is coming in from Borussia Mönchengladbach. He will be able to play in that position as well. On the right wing, we've obviously got Nauf. Aronson can play out there. Jack Harrison can play there too, and Morgan Gibbs-White. But also through the middle, Aronson and Gibbs-White can play there. I think realistically, we probably need another signing for the attacking midfielder role, and on the left wing, Nauf can play there, but realistically he's not going to, and Jack Harrison can play there, so we definitely need a top quality left winger. And then up front, we've only got Vitinha and young Ben McGill, who we brought on for the final moment of the Europa Conference final, in the hope that he would be able to finish his penalty, but he didn't do that. But that is who we're looking at. He has scored a lot of goals at reserve level. We might be able to bring him into the team next season, but realistically, he's only a League Two standard striker, so we need 2, maybe even 3 star quality strikers that come in and help out Vitinha next season, because he is 30 years old now. He will be 31 by the end of the year, and there's only so long you can keep scoring double figures in the Premier League, but we'll see. And he does tend to go anonymous for a little while, so it'd be nice to have some competition in there for him. And we'll see how it goes. But yeah, as I say, we've got a lot of money to spend, so let's go and spend that money this summer. The club want us to do that. That's one of our expectations, is to spend the transfer budget. So that's where our plans lie ahead. Well, first signing of the summer it is then, and a very familiar face indeed. Cesare Casadei is coming in from Fulham in what could rise to a £68 million deal. It is going to be a lot less than that. I have been quite crafty with how I've negotiated this. Of course, he was brilliant in our short Premier League stay with Fulham. And obviously in the Championship last year, by far our best player. And I'm looking forward to bringing him into this defensive midfield setup at Leeds. I think he will really thrive with the quality of players that we've got. We'll get him out of that Championship club. I think he was by far the best player that we worked with in the Championship. So I'm looking forward to working with him again. You can see we have got an initial fee of £27 million, which is a bargain for this player. We're going to be paying $325,000 for 10 games, so that's another $3 million essentially. After he's played 50 games, then we'll give them another £28 million. And if he scores 50 goals, then we'll give him another 10. So essentially, we're looking at a £50 million signing. By the time he's played 50 games, hopefully he's contributed a massive amount to this football club. So I'm pretty happy with that. I think that's a good deal for the club. First signing of the window. Not a position I was actively looking to improve, but he came available. His agent came offering him around, and yeah, I'm pretty happy with that signing. 4-star player already. He's coming in, I would imagine, as our best defensive midfielder, and is already worth over £100 million. Yeah, leading Premier League player. If you go into defensive midfielder, can you change that? You certainly used to be able to do that. I don't know exactly why that doesn't work. But there you go. He comes in as, well, let's say our best defensive midfielder. And, I think that is exactly what we want to do. The amount of money that we've paid for him, I'm very, very happy with. So, yeah, it's a good signing, that. Very happy. First out of the window then is Tyler Adams, obviously our 31-year-old American versatile player. He has gone. He wanted a new challenge. He's gone to Leicester in a 19.75 million deal. So we've recouped what we paid for him many, many years ago. He's been a good servant, but ultimately not part of my plans, really. Of course, he can play defensive mid. He's a good backup left back, but he's not the quality that we need to push on, and he's not really going to be a part of that future. So very happy to cash in on him while we could. Okay, our next signing has come through. Danny Namaso has come in for a fee of £40 million. He's a 29-year-old Cameroonian attacking midfielder, can also play up top or on the right or on the left. I think, a player that will fit straight into our system, really. He has been playing brilliant football for Anderlecht over the last few years. He's been playing at Champions League level, doing a wonderful job, and I'm really excited about this sign. I know it's probably a bit of an overpayment, but there were other Premier League clubs that were in for him, so I decided to go in big for him. He's going to be here for the next 3 years. I think he's going to be a big part of our future in those roles behind the striker, supporting, and he's doing a really good job internationally as well for Cameroon. So yeah, really happy with Danny Namaso. Okay, next signing of the window is a 28-year-old striker called Hugo Ekitika. He is coming in from Reims on a free transfer, which I don't think is too bad. He is a very, very solid player. Not particularly good as being a striker, but will come in nicely as a backup on that right wing. Again, has played very, very well in Ligue 1 for the last few years. I think that's a bargain, really, to get him in on a free transfer. Very good. Okay, next signing of the window is backup goalkeeper Vujovic. Andrea Vujovic is coming in as an 18-year-old Italian goalkeeper. He is currently, I think, 2-star ability, 4.5-star potential, looks decent. £4.9 million we're signing him for. He is definitely one for the future of this football club. Probably not for the present, but he will definitely be a Premier League goalkeeper in his future. Already looks decent. 18 years old, is very young for a goalkeeper. Has been playing in Croatia the last couple of years, but definitely somebody that I want to have a look at, that I want to maybe give some cup appearances to this year, just to get him involved. But that has meant that we have getting rid of Josh Clark, who was one of our current backup goalkeepers. He was a 25-year-old Northern Irishman. He has gone to Copenhagen in Denmark. So there you go. Okay, next signing of the window is Emerson Royal, who is now 31. He is, of course, a right back. He will come in as our backup right back. He has played all over the shop, really. Started off at Tottenham, of course, then went to Bayern Munich, then over to Barcelona, and spent the last few years in Italy with Inter Milan. I think £7.5 million for your backup right back ain't so bad. I think he will perform the role that we require of him very well. He has got decent attributes, and I do think that's a good signing, certainly for a backup. Okay, and here's going to be our first choice goalkeeper this season, a 31-year-old goalkeeper from Real Madrid called Andre Lunin. Looks very, very decent, to be honest, attributes-wise. 3-star ability. Brought him in for $8.25 million. I think that's a really good deal for us. Hasn't played a great deal of football in this save, but I think he's been a competent backup for Real Madrid over the years, and I think he deserves his chance in the Premier League as a first choice goalkeeper. Very, very happy with that sign, and I think he'll do a good job. Interestingly, the Premier League has now been drawn, so let's have a little look at the season preview. They're currently expecting us to finish 9th. If we did finish 9th, I'd be very happy with that. They're expecting Man City to win the title, Middlesbrough, West Brom and Swansea all to go down, which is quite interesting. If you go down into the Championship, they're expecting Wolves. Well, Wolves didn't get promoted. Wow. Wolves didn't get promoted. They were 1-94 or something to win the Championship last year. Somehow their manager has survived, even though they didn't get promoted. They're expecting Fulham to go up as well. Jankovic is still there. Don't unless he's extended his loan, has he? I don't think he has. No. So, yeah, he won't be a key player going forward. This guy seemed to come in January, Riccardo Sutil from Italy, and he did a very good job towards the end of last season. Looks like a good player, so good business there from Ruud van Nistelrooy. Well, England went out the World Cup on penalties. I want to watch their penalty shootout. Let's get these match sounds off. But yeah, Mason Mount was the one that missed. Oh, so unlucky. Højbjerg stepped up. Good goal there. I don't know who's in goal for England these days. Ramsdale, apparently. Abraham scored. Tammy Abraham playing for England. Skov Olsen into the back of the net. Jadon Sancho, poor penalty, but went in. Damsgaard stepped up, and that went in. And then Harvey Elliott had to step up and score. Terrific penalty from him. But then I think we must have already seen the winning penalty. I don't really know why Harvey Elliott did take his. But England did go out of the World Cup in the third round, which means the England job may well be available come the end of the tournament. It's certainly one that I want to get in this series. I don't think I did manage it in any journeymans in the past, so I would love to be able to get the England job and take them to glory, because over the years they certainly have struggled to play well in any tournaments. They were third placed in the 2026 World Cup, but in the European Championship last time out, they certainly didn't perform to their best. I think they actually went out in the group stage, if I remember correctly. If you go into all groups. No, they actually got through that round into the second round then, and they went out to Norway. So Scandinavian countries apparently are the ones that England don't like. But yeah, I mean, I'm not going to apply for the England job, but if it was to come, it would be a big decision to make. Okay, now this is a big signing that we can make. Peter Murray is a striker, and you know that's one of our top priorities. This transfer window is getting another top quality striker into the club, and this guy is definitely that. He has done a terrific job for Middlesbrough in the Premier League. He joined them many years ago for 8.5 million and has scored double figures in the Premier League pretty much ever since. He had one dodgy season in 2028-29, but brought himself back to form last year with 16 goals in 33 appearances. He's still only 23, and you look at those attributes and you think, wow, this guy is brilliant. He is the real deal. He's not quite a complete forward yet. Definitely an advanced forward, I would imagine. Maybe a poacher. But you want him to use his pace. And 23 years old, he would come in. He's better than Vitinha already. I think he could be an awesome signing. The problem is, it's going to be £60 million that we're going to require. Well, 56 million that's going to come out of the transfer budget. And we're going to have to adjust our budgets and stuff like that to make sure that we can get this through. I'm going to bring him in because I think that is a massive sign. I know it is a lot of money to spend on a Middlesbrough striker, but I think with the service that we can give him with our quality, I think he could be a 30-goal-a-season striker. So we are bringing in Peter Murray, and fingers crossed he will be a great player for us. He could be a leading Premier League player. I think he could be a legendary Premier League player if you look at his stats over the last few years. And, that's in a poor Middlesbrough side in the Premier League. And I think that's a big signing for us. Not just the big money, but happy with that one. Well, this is a tough one to stomach, but I really can't justify refusing this sort of offer for a 29-year-old. Sergio Gomez, our star left back, will be leaving the club. I'm just gutted about this one. But he will be 30 in September. He's only going to get worse. £58 million is the offer that's come in for him. Oh, it feels wrong, but we have to let him go. I'm afraid. Yeah. Who knows? Made a parting comment to him. £58 million comes into the club. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I'm not surprised Namasso's concerned about that one. I would be too. That's a bitter pill to swallow. Okay, next signing on the way is a 23-year-old winger from Real Madrid. He's coming in on loan. Edgar Navarro is his name, and I think he'll be a decent signing for us. He's already 3-star ability, could be 4.5-star potential. We will have the option to buy him for £50 million if he's any good, basically. So it's a try before you buy. £50 million could be a decent deal for somebody with those attributes, somebody that's only 23, and somebody that can be a 4.5-star player in the future. Definitely happy with that one. Definitely bulking out our winger depth as well, which is really, really good. And this guy seems to be able to play on both wings, so can't ask for more, really. Okay, and the Andre Santos, what was it? Diego Santos? No, Andre. What was his name? I keep getting his name wrong. I think Sergio Gomez. Andre Santos is our right back. I'm fairly sure. Am I right with that? Where is he? Andre. Thiago Santos, sorry. I don't know my players, apparently. Yes, it's going to be this guy, Brandon Soppy. Hopefully he doesn't live up to his name. 16.75 million initial fee. We are going to be paying an extra 20 million over 12 months on the Never Never. Or at least 3 more installments, if you like. It will potentially rise to 38 million in the future. He is a 3-star ability player, can play on the left or the right. And I thought that was a decent signing. He comes in from Lille, I believe. Yep. And has played for Everton in the past as well. Did a decent job in the Premier League. And over the last 3 years has developed well in Ligue 1. Again, it might be a bit of an overspend, but we're having to spend it at the moment because there just isn't a great deal out there for us. This guy looks like he'll fit straight into our system. He is a right footer, though, which kind of messes with me, but can play on either side, which I'm quite happy about. Okay, next player to join on loan is Francisco Jorge, who is a 22-year-old winger. Looks pretty decent, to be honest with you. He is a Portuguese player. He's coming in from Manchester City. He's done a decent job over the years. I think he should hopefully count as homegrown. I'm not entirely sure whether he will. Eligibility, is that a thing? I don't know where you see homegrown status. Nation trained in, I suppose, Portugal. Okay, fair enough. He's not going to be that. But he's coming in on loan, much like Navarro, but this time we have got an agreed purchase fee in there of 26.5 million at the end of the loan deal. So I'm pretty happy with that. 8.5 million deducted from next season's transfer budget. I don't exactly know why it's only that, but he comes in very, very good. 3.5-star ability, 4-star potential. I think he could be an absolute superstar. And as I say, played well for Man City from the bench last season. 4 goals in 1 start. Looks like a very, very good player for us. Well, this is a very interesting one because Cristiano is not going to get as much playtime this season. He's only our fourth best defensive midfielder. You've got Ramadani in there. You've got Casadei in there. Manu Kone will be in there playing games. And to be honest, if we need somebody else, there is Archie Gray, who I would like to develop. He looks decent. So I'm kind of tempted here because we could reinvest this money elsewhere in the squad where I think we might need a little bit more depth. So I'm actually going to accept this offer. I know that is a crazy thing to do, but ultimately I think that's a good deal for us. James Crouch is one of our goalkeepers. I'm not going to get rid of him because he helps our quotas for English players and whatever. But yeah, it was a tricky one to accept that offer from Cristiano, but you don't want to reject it because it's Chelsea and then he could cause problems. He's only our fourth best defensive midfielder at the end of the day. Okay then, next signing of the summer is Geronimo Mizzi, who looks brilliant, to be honest with you. He is a 22-year-old Dutch left-back. It was the director of football that has signed him. 18.25 million is what we're going to sign him for. He's going to come in and probably be our first-choice left-back. Has played well for AZ Alkmaar all his career. And I think at 22 years old, definitely somebody that we want to get behind. Right, end of the transfer special then. We are right at the end of the window in terms of what we can sign before the first Premier League match, where we're taking on Crystal Palace in tomorrow's episode. This is the 11 that I've put together. We're going to switch to a vertical tiki-taka style rather than the tiki-taka that we were going for last season. Try and get there a little bit more direct than what we were going for last time. So we've got our new signing, Andre Lunin in goal, Thiago Santos and Mizzi are our wing backs, but we're having to play two players that don't usually play in central defence. In defence today, Lyons and Ramadani are in there. Archie Gray and Manu Kone, will be our defensive mids with Nauf Aronson and Namaso starting behind Peter Murray up top. Quite a lot of new signings. I think it'll take a while to bed these all in. The reason for the slightly underwhelming first 11 is because of these suspensions and signing injuries. Tiata and Lara both suspended. Casadei, Sopi and Aquino are all injured as well. So that's not fantastic for us. I did consider playing a different tactic, but we don't have any centre-backs at the club, so it's going to be quite tough. I mean, I suppose we could delve into the under-21 squad. Maybe there's a decent centre-back waiting down there for us if we filter out not a club. Let's see what we have got down there. Nothing desperately good. I suppose Glenn Shaw would be one, but you'd need to be registered, and that's going to be tricky. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to be any better than what we've got. I suppose he played in the Championship last year. Maybe he will be. I don't know. We'll see. I'll have a think and go into tomorrow's episode. Full of hope. I think it's been a good transfer window. Certainly the media seem to think we should finish top half this season. And I do think we have got some really top quality players in. I think Peter Murray is going to be an absolute revelation. I am disappointed at some of the players we've lost. I'm disappointed at losing Sergio Gomez. I'm disappointed at losing Cristiano, but massive amounts of money that came in. I couldn't really justify turning those transfers down, and I would like to bring in a couple of English players to try and bolster the squad a little bit and also help out with our registration rules. So that's going to be the target for next episode and beyond. But hopefully you've enjoyed it. If you have, give it a big thumbs up down below. Subscribe for plenty more Football Manager videos, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.